So if you've been using Claude Code to write faster, that's good, but there's a way where we can actually use Claude Code to build clients like I do. I'm going to be teaching you 3 specific ways we can make money with Claude Code in 2026, and I'm going to be giving you real life examples for each that I've delivered myself. Now, the questions you want to be asking business owners you're working with, whether that be dental clinics, HVAC companies, whoever is the target market that you want to target, you need to be asking them what their problems are. They don't care about AI. AI is a tool, and Claude Code specifically is what you're going to be using to solve these problems. So the question I ask every business owner, and what you need to do as well, is you need to be asking them, what do you do manually every week? What's something that takes up a load of your time, a load of money, resource, whatever the case may be, and it's something you feel could be automated? Every type of business does something that's manual every single week or every single day that you can automate with Claude Code. So Claude Code is a delivery tool, but you're the person who needs to ask the right question. So we've got 3 different models here, and I'll go through each one in detail, but here's the overview. The first one is automations, and it's like what I've been mentioning at the start of this video. If there's any type of manual process, things that people do on repeat, these are things that you can automate with Claude Code. Now, you can orchestrate all of this through Claude Code, and you could be building it through NAN, through an MCP server or an API connection, or you could build it directly in Claude Code and then just ship that to the customer. Number 2 is AI. Now, agents are very similar to automations, but sometimes they aren't following as a step-by-step manual process like an automation would. They might be doing research, outreach, monitoring, analysis of the market, whatever the case may be. But these are still really powerful skills you can sell to businesses. Number 3 is the AIOS or business brain, where you set up a full AI operating system for a business. A system which knows everything about it, its context, its strategy, its data, everything. You can also set up a monthly recurring revenue here with a retainer model, but we'll get onto that in the specific section. So for automations, you can use a variety of tools here. You can use NAN, Make, custom Python tools, whichever one gets the job done. Claude Code is going to be the one that actually writes most of it. But what's important, and your role as the AI agency owner, is you need to understand the problem. All you need to be able to do is describe the problem well enough to Claude Code, and Claude Code will do the heavy lifting. So one thing that trips people up on pricing is that they're quoting for automation. What you should really be quoting for is the time or money saved for this process. If a process takes someone 10 hours a week and they value their time at £30 an hour, you've just saved them £300 per week. So some common projects that you get with automations are things like report generation, CRM updates, quote building, and document processing. Now, for these automations, you want to be charging something anywhere between the range of $1,000 to $10,000, and this really depends on how complex the automation is, how much time it's going to save, how much money it might make for that company. So here's a real example that I've actually built myself in the past. A sales team I was working with was manually building quotes from scratch every single time. They would fill everything out from an Excel sheet, copy it over to a Word document, and spend ages calculating each line by hand, reformatting, all of that stuff, and it was taking them hours every week. With Claude Code, we wired up a simple automation where the specs go in and a formatted Word document comes out. All the team has to do is review it and send it off. And when I explained the ROI this was going to bring to the company in terms of hours saved on each quotation they were generating, it was a no-brainer for them. Those are the kinds of projects you want to be looking for in terms of automations with Claude Code. Our second way that we can make money with Claude Code is with AI agents. So this is where you can build an agent or a web tool that a team might use every day, something like a bit of a co-pilot. It can search, read, write, research, whatever the functionality it needs to be, and output something useful at the end of it. A couple of different ways you can host it, and I've put on here you can host it on things like Render or Railway, and that is true, but you could also just ship over the folder structure to them that you develop everything through Claude Code and Python, and they can run that locally on their workspace. Now, for these AI agents, you can charge a setup fee, you can charge for monthly access to it, you can adjust the pricing structure how you like, or if you want, you can do the first one for free and actually get a testimonial. And that's how I did it when I first got into the AI agencies. This is going to allow you to get a foot in the door and actually build connections in the industry. So for these, you want to be looking to build AI agents where a business might have a task that it does on a regular basis, but it doesn't follow the same step-by-step process that the automations would. These might be things like we want to research in a specific area, or we want to analyze this spreadsheet. So these might be agents for more specific tasks that need a bit more of a dynamic nature. So for these agents, you're going to be looking to build these, again, like the automations, in 1 to 6 weeks, and you can charge anywhere from $1,000 to $10,000. So here's an example I'm going to walk you through of a build that I made for a client a while back. A B2B sales team was spending hours, if not a full day, researching potential ideal customer profiles. So they were searching for businesses that would match who they were looking for, looking to map out their organization structure, and then contact people from that business. Now that's a very boring manual routine task, and it requires looking in different platforms, gathering data from different areas. It was something that was super valuable to them because this is where a lot of their leads were coming from. So what we did is we built a research agent. We would give it an ideal company profile, so who their ideal customer was, and it goes on the internet and all the different data platforms that we gave it access to search for these potential companies and find contacts for the leads that we wanted to reach out to. The agent would then come back with an answer and all the research that is done, and all the team at Sue would review it and send off the message. Now our third way is the AIOS, or the business brain setup. And this is where you're going to be sitting down with founders and building a complete AI operating system and really changing the way that they operate on a day-to-day basis with their business. So what are the type of things that go into building an AIOS? So you're going to be building a context layer, which will include information about the business, their strategy. So Claude Code knows everything about that business every time that chat is open. You're going to build live data connections. That's going to be API connections between its different sources. And you're going to be connecting it to Telegram or Slack or whatever their choice is, so that they have access to this agent through their phone wherever they are. So really who you want to be targeting to build these AI operating systems, and who I found the most success with, are founders that are drowning in day-to-day operations. A lot of the time, people who start businesses find themselves routinely operating in the day-to-day processes and don't actually get time to focus on strategy and where the business is going. Now that's what this AI operating system gives them. It gives them all of that time back so they can automate processes and stay up to date with everything that's going on in their business with that daily brief that they get every morning. And it means that they can actually spend time focusing on strategy and where they want to go with the business. To deliver these are a little bit quicker and usually take about 1 to 4 weeks, and you can charge anywhere in the range from $3,000 to $10,000 for setup. And there's also a retainer that you can put on these whenever a business wants to put in a new skill for that AI operating system, or if they want to make some changes in some sort of area. And once they've actually seen the value of it, they're going to have no problem paying you that retainer fee. So again, just like the other two examples, I've actually built an AI operating system for a founder before, and it was a similar process where he found himself in operations constantly chasing numbers. We built an AI operating system for him, and now he has access to the business, any information on it, whenever he wants and wherever he wants. How do you choose where to start? So if we look at the table here, you can see both automations and AI agents have about a range of 1 to 10K and about a low medium difficulty to get started with. AI operating systems, although you can charge a little bit more for them, they are a little bit more complex to set up, and you have to have a little bit more experience to actually deliver them successfully. So what I would recommend to someone that's just getting into this business is to start with automations. They're easy to understand a manual process their business currently goes through, and all you have to do is understand that well enough to describe it to Claude Code and get Claude Code to actually automate it for you. They still bring a ton of value, and once you've proven that automation for a company, you can then move on to building things like AI agents and even the higher ticket stuff like AI operating system. And before anyone asks, here's where you actually need to start with building any of these automations. So obviously you're going to need Claude Code on a Pro or Max subscription. And you of course need one person with a business. This could be someone in your family, it could be a friend, it could be someone from your network, anyone that's willing to help you automate a process for them. Now, once you've identified the business, all you need is a process to point at, and that's it. You can get to work. And you just need to spend time really identifying what that process is so you can describe it to Claude Code effectively. Now, there's 2 things to grab before you go from this video. If you want access to the free scoping template or the AI audit that I do at the start of every project, head over to my free school community and you can get access to that over there, where the link is in the description. If you're a business owner watching this thinking we've got a process we need to automate, or we want to implement an AI operating system, whatever the case may be, again, head on over to the link in my description and you can book in a 30-minute discovery call with myself. If you found this video useful, hit the like and subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next video.